First roll call. Vito Malakari. Cindy Malcolmus. Tim McGinley.
Present.
Matt Mitchell. Ted Ritzik.
Here.
Mark Schaefer.
Present.
Stephen Urban. All present, 7 of 7. Okay, the first item, we need to adopt the agenda. So sorry, may I have a motion to adopt the agenda? The second was? All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Agenda is adopted. Okay, we will open up public comment, but the public comment is on the agenda items, which is just the 4 officers being elected tonight. Does anyone have public comment that's in the audience? Anyone on Zoom? Hearing none, we're going to go to the first item on the agenda, which is the selection of the chair. May I have a motion to open nominations, please? All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Nominations are open. Any other nominations? May I have a motion to close nominations? All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Do you have someone to nominate or? Okay. Nominations are closed. We have 1 candidate, Mr. McGinley, for chair. Oh, okay. All right. They were closed anyway, but okay, it was unanimous. We have Mr. McGinley for your chair. I'm going to go around and please vote accordingly. Mr. Malakari? Ms. Malcolmus?
Yes.
Mr. McGinley?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell? Mr. Ritzik?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Mr. Urban?
Respectfully, no.
Okay, we have 6 yes, 1 no. Mr. McGinley, you are the chair of the Government Study Commission. Congratulations. Now, at this time, would you like to take the meeting over?
Our next order of business would be the nomination selection of the vice chair. Can we have a motion to open nominations?
So moved.
Mr. Ritzik, second. Ms. Malcolmus, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any negative votes? Nominations are now open.
I'd like to nominate Vito Malakari for vice chair.
We have a nomination. Do we have a second? Matt? Do we have anything else? Do we have a motion to close nominations? Got that? Matt and Mr. Schaefer, okay. So we now have nominations and the nominations are closed. We now have a selection of the vice chair. We have 1 nominee, Mr. Malakari. Roll call, please. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
We now are going to move to the treasurer's position. We need to open nominations.
So moved.
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Nominations now open. Accept the nomination for a member of the committee to be chair and treasurer.
I'd like to nominate Cindy Malcolmus.
We have a nomination. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Very good. Anyone else? We have do we have a motion to close the nominations? Okay. All in favor of closing indicate by saying aye. Aye. Roll call, please. Yes. We're down to the fourth item. Requesting a motion to open nominations for the office of secretary. We have a motion. We have a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Nominations are now open.
I'd like to nominate Ted Ritzik.
We have a second. Any others? We have a motion to close nominations. Mr. Mitchell and Ms. Malcolmus. All in favor of closing nominations indicate by saying aye. Aye. So we have one nominee for the office of secretary. Roll call, please.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Ritzik?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Mr. Urban? Mr. Malakari?
Yes.
Ms. Malcolmus? Mr. McGinley?
Yes.
Unanimous. Mr. Ritzik is the secretary.
Now completed the agenda items for this evening, and we're now open for public comment.
You have one slip. Mr. Griffith?
Is it working now? There we go. So good evening, everybody. Congratulations on the folks who were elected to the study commission. It was the council's wish that we have a commission together to study the government. There are some problems with this government that was currently formed by our study commission. And I appreciate the ability for the seven of you folks to step up to try to fix some of the problems that we had in the past. Hopefully we could get a better charter from the entire process. I think that's the goal here, is so government can be better for the people who live here in this county. I think that's very, very important. I would hope that because the people wanted the study commission that we would provide, and I know the council gives 3 minutes, but I would hope that you would give the people a chance to speak at the podium under public comment to give them an opportunity to express their opinions, not necessarily myself, but other folks who come, they might be able to offer important information to the study commission on what they see as wrong as opposed to what we see as wrong, because the people of the county see things totally different than we do from the inside. So I think it's important that we get their perspective, and that would require to give them time. Certainly, I think the chair would have to obviously keep track of that because some people could drone on. So I think that's important that we keep a balance at some point. The only thing, and I know Mr. McGinley used the microphone, and I know starting right out, we need to make sure that we do that because the people in the audience that are out in Zoom land don't hear anything that goes on if we don't turn a microphone on. So please keep that in mind because they're all watching and listening and they want to have the information. So that's very important. And lastly, I just want to tell the commission, the controller's office is open to anyone that needs information or any kind of input. Feel free to call my office anytime. My staff is more than willing to help in any way to give you any data, information, any kind of research that you might need. Feel free to reach out and use that resource. It's important that you folks get the important information to make informed decisions and do a credible job for the people of the county. So thank you for everybody that stepped up, especially the ones that took a leadership role. It's going to be important. It's a huge task, and I appreciate all your hard work looking forward. So thank you, everyone. Appreciate that.
We have any other, anybody on Zoom, please? At this time, this evening, we really just organized the committee. But we have a couple things that we're going to have to think about going forward. Number one, we're going to have a solicitor. We're going to have a consultant, and we should have a recording clerk or secretary that will work with the secretary. We're also going to have to go to the county through the council and ask for a budget to be able to perform our work. And then, as we go through those procedures, we're going to have to think about it. I think a lot of people, from my discussions with different people, believe we should do RFPs for those positions the solicitor, the consultant, the recording clerk or secretary. So for our next meeting, which will be 2 weeks from tomorrow night, right, we're going to meet on Tuesdays. Is that fine with everyone? So after, was it June 4th? June 4th. Excuse me? We can meet up in the jury room if we have to.
Tim, I
Oh, yeah.
have,
Go ahead.
I'm a member of the Airport Advisory Board.
Right.
And just as long as that Tuesday doesn't fall along the same Tuesday that we have our airport board meeting, that would be a
What time is your airport board meeting?
6 o'clock at the 40-foot
Okay.
borough building.
Yeah,
So that would be a conflict. for me.
yeah. We'll have to look at that then. We're going to look at Tuesdays somewhere around 6 o'clock. Is that time wise? People are fine with that?
I have surgery on June 4th. So I won't be,
I wish you good luck with that. But,
yeah, it's
hopefully,
minor, it's not a
Good.
big deal, but
good.
I won't be available.
Well, there's some questions about the first meeting because Mr. Ritzik, yourself, we'll work that out and get some kind of potential schedule. And that'll come to the committee to approve.
Okay.
Yeah,
Madam?
I was just gonna ask, someone else. I was just gonna ask, how are we gonna go about doing that? Do we have, like, are we gonna email, say, everyone, these dates work for you? Do they not work for you? And is there any reason we're sticking on
Well-
Tuesdays in particular?
Well, 3 of the members here, we're used to working on Tuesdays.
Okay,
So we know 3 people are available most Tuesdays, and it sounds like Mr. Ritzik is, and I think Vito is okay with that. And unfortunately, she has a personal situation, but
But
okay. So Tuesday seems to be okay with the majority of people. Okay,
Tuesdays here in this room, they're all gone for June.
well, I said we can meet upstairs in the jury room if we have to. Well, let's look at the schedule. I know that Ms. Corcoran said she would set up emails for all of us. So once that gets set up, we'll use that communication device. Everybody will use the emails related to the committee. Okay?
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
for any agenda items, should those on the commission email you directly for the agenda items or Ms. Lawrence for the next meeting?
Well, I think it should be the chair first. I mean, Ms. Lawrence has been graciously helping out. But, we hopefully soon we can get our own person so that allows her to concentrate on what she has to concentrate with the council. Okay? So once we get the emails, we'll get them sent out and then we'll use that form of communication all the time. Agenda items, definitely send forward. My thought is we would start with Article 1 and look at Article 1 and see what people believe may be issues or something that has to be looked at, focused on. So for our first meeting, that will be part of our agenda. Look at Article 1. And, at any time, if you have issues or something that you wish to bring forward, please don't hesitate. We'll go ahead and try to do as much as we can. I know meetings sometimes can get long, and I don't think that's always the best situation. So we want to try to focus on what we have to do and look at the subjects and issues that we think are important. Okay? Anyone else?
the only thing I have to raise is that it's my understanding that we have to set our next meeting at this meeting, that's in the law about the study commission. Does anyone else under that? Like, I believe we have to set our next.
If we had a solicitor here, that person would tell us. But, if we have to, it'll be 2 weeks from tomorrow night, and we'll just have to decide if we have to go upstairs to the jury room.
I'm just, is there any reason we can't try and do like Wednesday or Thursday or Monday?
I know Wednesday's no good for me.
Yeah. No one ever schedules anything on a Monday.
That's not true, but, sometimes you run into school activities, particularly later on. But
I think it would be fair to say that we're going to run into an issue time-wise or any day for most people.
Yeah.
I think though, Mr. Schaefer, what you're referring to is the government handbook, the commission handbook that states that we need to set meetings moving forward consistently for a calendar, at least to run out sometime for public.
Yeah.
So, and if that's something that you think could wait until the next meeting,
Well, we
Add it to
can,
the
you know,
agenda.
we can meet 2 weeks from tomorrow night. And then the calendar will, you know, once we get everything set up with the emails, that will be sent out to you. And that will be one of the items on the agenda then for future going forward. At least, well, it'll be June, try to do it for the rest of the year. I think that's, you know, so everybody can sort of figure out what their schedules, where they're at. Okay? Go ahead.
Is there a way that we can make the first meeting not on that Tuesday so that I can attend?
And also, I just want to say, I do think it's important that we, in the jury room upstairs, is that equipped for live stream? Yeah, so I don't think we should ever have a meeting in
Well,
there.
I see now, obviously, this room has certain equipment, but in the past, there's been meetings up there that are, you know, part of it. Wherever possible, we should try to meet here.
Yeah, so I mean, can we look at next month, the 2 weeks from today instead of 2 weeks from tomorrow? Does that not work for anyone?
My feeling as we go 2 weeks from tomorrow, I do appreciate Mrs. Malcolm's situation.
I just don't get why we're picking at a day that we know we can't have the room and know one of our members can't be here. Yeah, so we missed
Yeah.
2 members.
I'm in conflict with the airport advisory board and Sharon, you said you're in conflict with? Yeah.
Let's go 2 weeks from tonight for the first meeting. And then we'll look at Tuesdays after that and try to
that
figure out the
third,
schedule.
yeah, I'll be out for that one. That's, sorry,
out
graduation,
for that one?
teaching. Yes, sir. Again, this is an issue. I know if we want to go to the third, I could try to zoom in and be there for that for the organization, but I'd like to be here for that meeting because of how important the agenda and table setting will be.
Yeah.
So if at all possible, if the chair would entertain June 5th as that first meeting.
That's what I was
That's
suggesting.
Wednesday.
Wednesday, June 5th. Yeah.
I can't do Wednesday the 5th.
Thursday the 6th.
Thursday.
Is Thursday open? Thursday?
Now, Ms. Malcolm, you have,
I can do that.
Will
I
you-
should be okay by then.
Okay.
all right, the first meeting be a Thursday. You got to realize, you know, we have 7 members. We have a lot of people who have a lot of different things going on. You do have the opportunity to call in at any time, you know, depending on your situation. So we'll try to do the best we can. But obviously, there's going to be issues with whoever at different times. Okay?
Well, I think if we pick after, you know, this initial problem, if we pick a special day, I think that maybe we can have that everybody can agree on it, you know, usually, then I think that would work because then moving forward, we would all block that off. So.
Yeah, and right before the meeting started, we were talking about, in addition to emails, could we get like a Slack or a Teams or something where we could, because through that, we can all communicate and figure out what days work best for us. And so as soon as we have our emails, we can work that out.
I just spoke with IT. I'll work on that tomorrow.
Awesome.
Also a group email and the SharePoint that you requested. And I'll contact the sheriff on badges.
Wonderful.
Okay? Anything else?
One last thing, I would just like to publicly thank Ms. Lawrence for all of her help in setting this meeting up and running this meeting. Ms. Lawrence has been a gem to the county. Those county employees, you are a gem. So thank you, Ms. Lawrence.
Okay. Do we have a motion to adjourn? Do we have a second? All in favor? Aye. Any abstentions? Any negative votes?